All right, we're live. All right. So the stream started, and this is Frank Keeney, and I'm here with Jennifer Card from Canada in Ontario, right?
Hi.
How are
Yes,
you?
it is.
How's your day
Thank you.
going?
Pretty good. It's a beautiful day in Southern Ontario.
Okay. Okay. So you're one of my e-commerce mastermind students, and you were able to quickly scale. I mean, you were totally new to e-commerce. Never had sold anything before, and so how quickly were you able to get? How many months did it take you to get to doing more than 10,000 a month?
I think we probably were doing about 10,000 a month, about our third month in.
You're
We
how
probably
many months in?
2 months.
2 months in. Okay, you broke up there a little bit.
Sorry. We started in November with our very first sale.
Okay.
And we probably could have done it in December, except for we were drop shipping out of China. And then at that point in time, we kind of put a halt on a lot of the advertising just because we were worried about people wanting it for Christmas, not getting it in time. And then we turned it back on just right around the Christmas time. But by January, we were doing 10,000 a month easily.
Yeah,
And
I wonder if your microphone is not close enough. It is clipping a little. Is that
okay?
If it's maybe too far away or something.
Let's see if we can get it a little better for you.
Okay.
How's that?
I think it's okay. Let's see how that goes.
All right.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah. So it was by 10,000 a month. Very easily, we did it by January.
Okay.
We probably could have done it in December, except we cut sales just because of Christmas, and since we were drop shipping out of China.
Right. Yeah. Then there was Chinese New Year as well, and I think that was one of the big things for you. You started bringing inventory in bulk into the
Yes.
U.S. and fulfilling from
Yes.
the U.S.
Yeah, we actually did that by January. So, put in perspective, our very first sale was November 5, and we actually, by mid-January, had product in the U.S. getting ready to sell.
Okay.
Our January, we probably could have even done better than what we did, but again, Chinese New Year, we were limited how much we could bring in, just because we couldn't order the second one until February.
Uh-huh. All right. So, and now, what was the reason why you wanted to do online sales? Were you looking to get out of was there a day job you were trying to get rid of, or was there you wanted to be able to take more vacations? What was what was pushing you in this direction?
Well, it was interesting because we're a lot like you when you first started. I had my own company. I still have my own company actually, but it's a very service oriented where it's pay per hour type work. And what we were finding was, and it was very manual labor oriented too for us. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting older, and I did not want 20 years from now to be doing the same job again. So I was actually looking at what my options were, what we could do. And then, so I read the 4-Hour Workweek a few years ago, which I think probably everyone under the sun has probably read by now. And so it was always in the back of my mind. And then last year, I decided, you know what, now's the time to try it. We were in a position where, we had a little bit of disposable income that we could invest if we needed to, and let's see what we could come up with. And so we did some research, and I quickly realized there was a lot we had no idea. Didn't even know what we didn't know at that one point in time. So we started going around and looking for options and what to do, and we kind of stumbled across you.
Okay, so how did you first come across the Keeney Ecommerce Mastermind? How did you first come across that, and what kind of pushed you into it, or what was that was attractive to you?
Well, I had been searching online for quite a bit, and I saw a lot of those guru type guys. The ones that are 21 years old, they're standing on a beach with no shirt in front of the big luxury car saying, "Oh, look at me, and you can do this too." And I had a really hard time buying into that kind of thing. Um, so, they kept coming up on my Facebook feed like everything else. And then there was a couple of online conferences that were coming up too, and then a couple of e-commerce type conferences were coming up. And I think you were a speaker at one of them.
Oh.
And randomly, I was actually going through some of the speakers of this conference going, okay, well, who are these people, and what is it they know, and what exactly is it they do that's different than, the 21-year-old who I'm convinced is probably still actually living in his mother's basement. But, but, so I kind of wanted to see, like, what, these people are obviously recognized in the industry, they're well respected, so let's see what they're all about. And I think you were the second one I clicked on, and there was something about your intro video that really resonated with me. I saw a lot of the similarities. Like I said, you were in that consulting business and you wanted out, and you wanted, for your family, that security. Mm-hmm. You were able to work for it. The fact that you still do it, as well as mentoring, mm-hmm. That kind of put it over the top for us. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys, this is their job. That's all they do is they mentor and they teach. They don't actually do it themselves. So how can you stay on top of all the changes that are going on in the industry and with e-commerce when the last time you sold something online was probably 5 years ago? Doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Yeah, so kind of why we chose you.
What would say that last thing again?
So that's the reason why we chose
you
versus all the other guys.
Okay, so now you joined back in, I don't remember, I think it was October, November. And then you've told us you scaled to about 10,000 a month pretty quickly. So how are things going right now since that time? Tell us a little bit about where things are for you and like last month, like how things were last month and how that's going.
Last month in June, we actually have scaled it now up to, we sold over 35,000 last month. I think it's $35,000 dollars in revenue, and we're making a pretty good substantial profit on that too. So we're very happy with the numbers. We're actually at the point now, and all this is done with web product, by the way. And we're actually at the point now where we're bringing out the next generation of that product. So it's got a few enhanced features, and that's going to be launching next month. So that's what we're working towards right now. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, we probably could have grown it and scaled it higher than what we've had. We've actually been fairly conservative with this, just probably because it's the first time. So, we're still at that little, okay, do we increase it more? Do we not? Do we increase it? Do we not? So, and our increases have probably been much more conservative than what you would have done, as an example.
Right. Okay, so this product that you're selling right now, how long have you been? So you said you started making sales of it in November, and you now you made in my instructions I have my training and my mastermind, I talk all about doing video ads. So how many to make sales from November to now we're July? How many video ads have you had to make So one video you just did, and what was that like when? So we're in the mastermind, and you're creating your first version of that. What kind of feedback did you get from me when you were creating that initial advertisement? Well,
we did our video based on all the instructions that you gave us, and they were very detailed instructions too, by the way. And then we edited it all together, and then we sent it back to you. Then I think I got about a 20-minute video back from you and saying, okay, good, but here's what we need to do. Move this here, put that there, what you see at 15 seconds, move that to the 3-second mark, and we need more of this, less of that. No, don't do that at all. And I had to do a picture of this or a video of that, and I think it took, by the time it was all said and done, I think we did about 5 edits with you. Before it got to the point where you said, yep, that's good, run it. And we did.
And you did, and what happened?
Well, we launched it, and the $5 a day that you recommend. And the first day we got a sale,
Okay.
So
That's always a good sign when you make a
it's
sale
a
the first
fabulous
day.
sign. Yeah, we got a first sale in less than 8 hours, and of course, did a happy dance around my living room. And then I think a day or two went by, we didn't get anything else. And then all of a sudden we got 1, 2, 3, 4 in like a day. And we're like, okay, time to, okay, we'll increase our budget. So we just kept growing it from there. And then after that, it was on the calls with you on a regular basis. Like, okay, what do we do next? Okay, my scale now. Well, what about that? What do you mean retargeting ads? I'm confused. Okay, what do you mean exactly by that?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of hand holding at the beginning.
Right. Okay, so what if you go back? What do you remember as the first on a call or in this? What was like the first step I instructed you even before you actually created the video? What were some of the first things that you were instructed to do to get this up and going?
Well, the first was find products.
Right.
That was one of the very first things I remember. There might have been a few other details, but that was the big one. It was go find products. And I know that I was scouring AliExpress for a couple of days. And after a while, you just kind of go all bug-eyed because there's just so much stuff there. It's ridiculous. And we came up with like 15 or 16 different products, which we just kept Skyping you, going, what about this one? What about that one? What about this one? And when we got to the one that's been successful, I remember you looked at it because we were actually on the call when we sent it to you, and you're like, "Oh, I like this. This is possible. Yeah, this is good. I like this one. Yeah, this is a definite. Go get this one. Try it. And then it was a lot of I think out of the 16, I think that was the best one. There was a couple of other ones that were okay. That's possible. Get it. Look at it, see what you think, and then the vast majority was no.
Yeah.
No. Because a lot of products, you basically looked at it and says, yeah, that one's been done to death. I've seen 7 different people run this one in the last year.
Right.
This one I can go to the store and get, that type of thing. So.
Right. And so you also, I want to point out, this particular item that you sell is related to an interest that you have.
It is. Yeah. So it did help. So when we looked at it, we kind of went, I haven't seen this before. I can't buy this here locally. And, that actually think works better than what we can get now at the local store. So, it definitely had that featured that gap. It was like build a better mousetrap concept when we first saw it, and that's why I was like, okay, I could use this for me personally. And then when we gave it to you, your response was, okay, yeah, that looks good, and it looks like it's a quality piece as well. Yeah. So it's not something that's going to fall apart the first time you use it.
Right.
So that really helped.
Right. So and what were some of your biggest obstacles that you had to overcome that I was able to help you with to get to the point where you are right now?
Well, I think a lot of it was, the old adage is where you don't know what you don't know. It was basically taking everything in your mastermind, all the videos, just going through them over and over and over. I remember at one point I had synced your videos to the TV, which was actually right behind me.
Okay.
And then I had my computer here on my lap, and I'm going through the TV, hitting pause constantly, going through, okay, now what do I do? All right, hold on. Okay, yeah, I understand that. Okay, next. All right, let's do this. And then just going through, and then getting stuck, and then coming back to you going, okay, this is not working. I don't understand why. What am I doing wrong? And then you would actually take it, analyze it, and go, okay, yeah, you needed to do that right there. And it was just something really simple and easy, but it was just because we didn't have that knowledge base to work from. We had no idea what audience insights in Facebook look like, or even that it exists. I remember my first comment to you when you were showing it to us going, wow, that's really amazing. Wow, how much information do they have on us? Holy jeez, But, and it was just taking it all from there. But the fact that you were able to take all these pieces of the puzzle and put them together for us was really what did it for us. Because you're able to take, okay, we need the right product. And then we have to get it in front of the right group of people with the right message. And if any one of those three components fall apart, we don't get it right, then the whole thing is no good. It's not going to work. But if you get the three pieces of the puzzle correct, then you get success. And that is where we were having the biggest challenge of trying to figure out what needed to be done in what order and how, and that's where you really helped us.
So what is the number one transformational part of the Mastermind that you think it had an effect on you?
Well, from a personal standpoint, like I said before, I own my own business, and I went from working constantly down to, now I'm down to part-time.
Oh, really?
And,
okay.
Yeah, I'm down to part-time. I only work about 2-3 days a week, depending on the week. And I'm probably right now about 3 or 4 months away from either closing my business down completely or selling it. I'm not sure which yet. So, and just completely going full-time into e-commerce. I'm just extremely little conservative. I probably could do it right now and be very successful and very happy with it, but I just have problems letting go.
Right. Oh, no, it's totally. Yeah, I completely understand that.
Security blanket, that's all it is.
Yeah, so having those three, what you mentioned is extremely important. I mean, you have to, in order, you can have a great product, but if it's not in front of the right people, it won't sell. If you might have the right product and you're getting in front of the right people, but the message is not correct. And so all these things need to work together to actually convert. And that's where it's really critical to make sure that each of the pieces of this machine, that they're working together, that if even just missing one thing, you may have a great product and you may even have a really great video, but there's one piece you're not targeting the right people, or it's the wrong product, or the message in the ad is just not correct for that group of people. And you have something you could have had this product that you're having such success with, just one of these pieces missing, you may not have ever seen that for sale. And that's really exciting. I know that excitement when you do your first item, the first item that becomes successful, and in your video ad, you put quite a bit of effort into that, and to make sure that it was real good. And the first one you showed me, I was really blown away how well you did that. But in many cases, it does take some refining to show, because there's things that need to be shown in a video ad. The order is critical. You do certain things at the beginning and certain things right after the beginning, and then throughout. It must be done correctly in order for it to be effective and to last like this long. So it's from November. We're coming on what is it, like 9 months now? This video has just been performing without having to change your ad or video at all, and it just the what?
We have changed nothing.
Changed nothing. They just
nothing. It keeps running through.
It just keeps running because you have that message, and you because it is something, also because it's something that you understand, it's something that you're passionate about, that you're also you understood, and you put together a really good message for that group of people. So what would be you're completely new to e-commerce, and I believe you're completely new to paid advertising. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And so what would be your number one piece of advice that you give to people that are watching this?
Honestly, you really do need, if you're completely new like we are, you do need to find someone kind of get you through those initial. There's so much information out there, and there's so much misinformation out there, or outdated information out there, that it can be really overwhelming when you first start out. So I firmly believe that if you find the right mentor for you, someone that's going to take the time to spend with you to get you up and running and training to the point where then you can actually start to say, oh, I get this. This makes sense to me now. All right. And then from there, you can grow on. I'm a firm believer. It's an absolute necessity, and it's worth every penny to do that. It's the same thing as if you're going to university. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your future. It's the same idea. It's just, very much a crash course. So yeah, I definitely believe in that. And I also believe that, yes, we got lucky with our very first product. It doesn't go that way for a lot of people. And we realize exactly how lucky we are. So, don't give up. It's frustrating. Keep going, and eventually the right product is going to click with the right message and the right people. That's when you surround yourself with other people that actually say to you, okay, you know what, maybe it's a product, or maybe it's your copy, or maybe we need to change up who you're marketing it to. Sometimes having that second set of eyes does it for you.
Yeah. So I think but you say that you were lucky in your first product, and I don't think luck had anything to do with it. You put the time in to researching products, and so when we had our mentoring calls, you showed up. Every single time, you had questions, you asked them, and you listened to the feedback. But it wasn't luck. You put in the work, and you understood the audience. And just like you described in that product research phase of doing this, you did it the right way, and this is a result of putting the effort and time and work into this. You've already described, when you would put like the video, you'd watch the instruction on your TV, and then you'd stop it and pause it. So this was a serious undertaking for you. It was not just something where you watched 20 videos and then the next day you sort of did, maybe two things for about 30 minutes. I know that you put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and this was not luck. This was down to market research, product research, and then following that up with asking for feedback, showing up on the mentoring calls, and then launching it when things were ready. But the credit goes to the work and everything you put into this to make this successful.
Thank you. And one more thing, I do highly recommend, though, if anybody's doing it. I was on a phone call with you today, actually. And there were 3 people, and I was shocked by that. I know it's summertime and a lot of people are on vacation, but
yeah,
those phone calls can be so beneficial, because you're dealing, usually on the calls, there's people from all walks of life but they all have that common goal of e-commerce. They're all in different stages of e-commerce. You've got someone who's just starting out, brand new, just fine, but then you've also got people that have been doing it for a year, 2 years, going on the calls, and they're all coming at it from different mentalities. So even if you don't specifically have questions, I found, especially at the beginning, that I learned so much information just listening, and it definitely helps. And honestly, the fact that you do them twice a week, I'm actually, and I think one of the other guys mentioned from the videos that I'm actually shocked that they're not jam-packed with 100 people every time, to be honest, because there is value.
Right. And I have noticed that you do show up for many of these calls, and you've been in this for quite some time, and there's a lot of information because things change on it constantly. So for people that are listening, what would you, for people that are starting or trying to scale their business, their e-commerce business, what would you recommend that they do?
Try. Take the risk. Looking back in the last 9 months, if there's something that I could have done differently, The only thing I would have changed was probably I would have been more aggressive right from the get-go, and I could have done probably more in less time. Don't second guess yourself. Be confident, and just go for it.
All right. All right. And any last, before we end this, what would you say as far as your overall experience in being in the Mastermind?
It's been extremely positive. I mean, I wasn't in the Mastermind. I probably would be still shaking my head at Facebook looking at these, 21-year-olds with no shirts on for some godforsaken reason. I don't understand that one. But, and I'd still be working, my regular job here, wondering, how am I going to do this in 20 years? So, you've given us the financial freedom. So for us, it's been nothing but a very positive experience, and definitely recommend it to anybody who is interested in exploring this venue as a career choice.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to end the live.